Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest tonight is an actor, a writer, a director who's now made his first documentary, Stiller and Meara, Nothing is Lost.
They came up with a sketch in their living room, 20 blocks up Broadway, that then they were gonna, do on stage here that would be beamed out to the rest of the world.
The talent coordinator came down and saw us, and he liked us, and they hired us for a shot, one shot on Ed Sullivan.
Looking at the marquee coming up there, like, wow, imagine that, saying, Ed Sullivan Theater, Stiller and Meara, Rolling Stones.
And now, here he is, live from New York, Ed Sullivan!
Kind of puts a lump in your throat to think about.
The time Ed Sullivan was on, there would be generations of grandparents, parents, children, all watching one show.
The Ed Sullivan Show was watched by something like 20 or 30 million people every week.
Does this feel
natural and relaxed?
Is this good?
Is this how we planned it?
Hi.
How's it going, man? Good to see you.
Please welcome back to The Late Show, Ben Stiller. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's kind of.
What? Yeah.
No, it's just like going. Thank you. Yeah, going from the documentary into this, and I'm so happy we were able to do that.
Oh, me too. Yeah. I was really glad that I could be a very small part of it there. But I love that moment where you see Mr. Sullivan shot from behind, and then the matching shot of you walking out on this stage.
I know this place.
This is the building.
I know this theater is an institution. This show is an institution.
This interview is going great so
All
far.
right.
We just saw a clip from Stiller and Meara, Nothing is Lost, as we said, with the very theater in there. Will you explain for the people out there who may not know, because there might be some younger viewers who do not know, who Jerry Stiller and Ann Meara were?
Do they know who I am?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, they know you from.
I thought you were just.
They know you from Dodgeball.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I've been in the business for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
My folks were a comedy team, Stiller and Meara. They did the Ed Sullivan Show here 36 times.
Yeah. They were one of the most famous. They were a comedy team. They were one of the most famous comedy teams.
And they the Ed Sullivan Show was their launching pad and made their careers really. And I grew up, my sister and I, with them on the Upper West Side, and our whole life was about living, in this world. And I wanted to make a movie when my dad passed away about them. And it sort of ended up becoming a little bit more about our family and the sort of generational aspect, because I have two kids who both are actors too. And, just how it all has kind of, been influenced by everything.
Well, do you remember coming to this theater?
I do. I do.
Here's your dad.
Yep.
And I thought that was you, the little person right here. I thought that was you. That's not you?
That's not me. Yeah, no. That's my sister.
Okay.
That is my sister, Amy.
All right.
Yeah.
And then here's your mom.
Right. That's my mom, and that's, I think, sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, that is a stranger.
But that was a rent-a-kid.
Yeah.
That was a showbiz kid. They needed somebody cuter for the photo. Can you put this back up? Just look at look at this. It's Ella Fitzgerald, Richard Harris, Stiller and Meara, and the Doodletown Pipers.
I know.
I mean, the Doodletown Pipers.
Everybody remembers the Doodletown Pipers.
Of course, that's your next documentary.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was very exciting, when.
Well, when you did you learned about your own family doing this? Did anything surprise you, or?
Well, a lot of the documentary is us going through the apartment. When my dad passed away, we had to go through the apartment because we were going to sell it.
And forgive me, how long ago did your father pass?
5 years ago.
Okay.
So that's when we started shooting it. Yeah, and there was all this stuff he saved over the years. He saved everything that, videotapes. He would, tape my parents when they were on TV, tape us when we were on TV. He would save articles, reviews.
Did they record like their rehearsals and stuff like that?
Yes, he would record their rehearsals.
I would pay hard cash to hear your mom and dad working out a script.
Yes, well, you can do it for free if you have Apple TV. Not Plus.
Not Plus,
yeah.
No.
But they would improvise on tape, and then he'd let the tape keep going sometimes, and they'd get into conversations and sometimes arguments, and all this real stuff that I discovered because their assistants had kept it, and I went through hundreds of hours of audio. So that's a lot of what the movie is sort of learning stuff about my folks I didn't know in terms of their relationship and.
Could you have made this when they were still here, or is it too intimate, the things you're learning about their lives?
I as I was starting to make it, I really thought, oh, God, I should have done this when they were alive. But, there's that thing when your parents are around, sometimes you can't have that perspective. The everyday life stuff sort of just gets in the way of it. And I'd always thought about someday doing something, but it was really when they were gone that I thought, I have to do something. It was COVID when my dad passed, so we couldn't do a memorial, and I thought, I have to do something, and probably for me too, just having something a way to kind of work through my feelings, at the time too.
Well, as you said, your kids are in the business, your folks were in the business, you're in the business. Have you seen something in the life that they lived that you experienced as a child that informs you about the life your children are experiencing by having you be this famous comedic and, now dramatic figure?
Yeah, thank you for calling me a dramatic figure.
Well, the things that the things you've created in the last few years are like, not out of left field because you're a very talented guy, but you don't immediately draw a line from, Mystery Men to Severance.
It's like a squiggly line.
Exactly.
Look, the thing is, for us growing up around my parents, it was our whole life was around it. My kids had the same thing. I had a lot of issues, my parents being away a lot when they were working and their attention being on the work. And creative people...
They had to be on the road?
They had to be on the road, or they were writing, even in the apartment, they were working in the other room. There's that thing, I think, when you have parents who are creative or are passionate about something that takes them away from, the family life. Everybody has to deal with some version of that. And what I learned, in talking to my kids as the documentary evolved, was that, they have exactly the same issues with me, that I had with my parents.
Did they see it and go, Dad, that's you?
Oh yeah, 100%. They basically, there's a conversation with my son in the movie where I talk about, how my dad would get pulled away from people on the street, when they would recognize him. And my son, interrupts me and says, it's funny because that just happened to me last week with you. And it's like, oh yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
How old's your son?
He's 20.
Okay, so he's an adult essentially now. Yeah, so he's been...
Essentially.
Yeah. We are all essentially adults. Technically, legally, we would have to serve as adults.
Yes, he's a sophomore in college. He's opening in As You Like It tonight. I'm going right after this.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Ben Stiller, everybody. Stick around.